Hi there, my name is Sayed. So welcome to the channel. If it is your first time, please like and subscribe, check out other videos. And in this tutorial, I will be showing you on the computer. So let's get on the other side and I will show you that. Thank you very much. Hi friends, so in this video, we will be learning about SAP SD sales and distribution tutorials. And this is a part 1 of this video series. And my name is Sayed Rizvi. So let's get started. So foundation learning. Before you get into SAP SD, this is first point is learn from basics. So in any subject you want to get into, if you have a basic knowledge, then you can learn faster. For example, if we want to learn reading English, we need to understand some alphabets. So if we have a knowledge of alphabets, then we can make words and sentence and we can learn afterward. If we do not have basic understanding of alphabets, we cannot move forward. Just like that in SAP, foundation learning is very essential, and if we have alphabet knowledge and basic knowledge of SAP, then we can learn faster. So how to learn faster? There is a video, I have this in my YouTube channel, and I will share the link in the description below. So you can learn this video how to learn any subject faster with many tips. So and we need to understand and why and who is this for, whatever we are doing in this course. For example, in many times I have seen courses where they just start doing that you need to do this and you need to do that, and then it's go on from there. But the learner and the student would not understand what are they doing it and where they practically can apply that. So without understanding who it is for example, end user. If we are designing any function in the system for end user and we do not have a context that if we do configuration in SAP and how it's going to affect that, so that will be very essential for this learning. So we will start from the very beginning, that why are we doing that and who it is for and what are the existing function. So basics are important. So who can learn SAP? SAP is for basically anyone who would like to get into this industry. They can start from that. So if you have some background knowledge in your respective area, for example, you're getting into finance, if you have a domain knowledge, then you can get into that easier from that standpoint. So but if you put your mind into anything you want to learn, you can learn that. So that is there. So let's get to the next slide. Okay, so what is SAP ERP system? So introduction to SAP ERP system. So I do have some videos about those topics separately. I will be showing this slide in later on this video. SAP is the name of a company, and also SAP is a software product, is a software application in data processing. That is the SAP stand for. And so who use SAP ERP system? So basically big corporation, Fortune 500 companies, most of the Fortune 500 companies use this to understand their different departments function. For example, logistics might be having warehouse, sales, material management, where they are looking after their inventory, where they're looking after their different areas of logistics area. So with this you will be working in different application and different departments. For example, finance would be a different module in SAP, and so but in big corporations where they keep track of their finance, logistics and procurements, they want to keep track of it. They want to have a robust system, so that's why they use SAP, and most of the Fortune 500 companies use SAP. So we need to understand this from the end user perspective. If we start from there, we will understand it. What are we doing it in the system? And so there are three different types of users are out there. For example, end users who work on the system to basically, if somebody is a warehouse clerk or somebody is a sales rep, they work on the different areas of the application. So sales rep will be working on the sales order side, and the warehouse user will be working on the warehouse related transaction. Consultants, analysts and testers, etc. So consultants are another people who design the system, who configure the system functionally, and the developers who are working on the system as a developer to develop code and update code and change code in the system. So that is user standpoint, that three types of user out there in the system. So let's get started to the next slide. So my name is Syed Abbas Rizvi. I have a book published on this topic, SAP SD Sales and Distribution. This book is available on Amazon. I will be putting the link of this book in the description below, and where I have based this course. So let's go to the next slide where I will be showing. So content of this book is that foundation learning is essential if you have basic knowledge of SAP related terms and SAP related learning that you can learn from. That is essential, and you can start from there. Then other learning afterward become easier. So that is there, and then other chapters are out there. So let's take a look at this next slide. So foundation learning, okay, so what we do in this SAP related terms and concepts. So if we have understanding that SAP related terms, and if we understand that, for example, what is ERP, what is ECC, and what are if you are new to SAP and you do not know what is this, so that will help. And learn about methodology, how methodology work in SAP, and what is methodology. First of all, there is a separate video. I will be showing the link on the description below. Methodology is basically a method of doing things, and it's a set of rules defined by industry, and many different organizations, they have used these methods, and they are a proven way of doing things with success, with higher success rate. So learn how project works. So we need to understand that what happened is in the project, and if you start your journey into this career, what you do in this. So learn day-to-day task. I will be showing this in description later on, and later on this video I have a separate video only dedicated to this, what happened day-to-day task, what consultants do. And also learn faster with mind maps. So I have a separate video on that one as well, so I will be showing those slides later on. So what is day-to-day life as a SAP consultant and SAP analyst? Those are different terms used for this, almost like a same functionality or same role and responsibility. So that is the video. I will be showing the link of the description. So what you do in the project, this is if you need to understand what's happening and what you do, what you will be doing in the project when you get in the job. So maybe understanding from that side of the picture, you can understand this better. So that video is in the description below. So okay, terms. So we'll get started with terms. SAP, so it's called SAP Application and Data Processing, and so this is an SAP term that you can remember. And SAP is also name of a company which is based on Germany, and we would need to pronounce SAP, not SAP. So if you're calling as SAP, then it would not be sound professional. So you need to say SAP to make it as official name. Also start habit of researching and learning from Google. So any term you come up with, you maybe want to look up on the Google, and then you can try to understand what is this term is, and check some YouTube videos. I also have some videos on this terms. So, and I will be showing this in this video, and when I go along as we learn. So SAP project management, so that is SAP methodology. This is a separate video. I have this YouTube link is in the description below. And SAP term, so what is ECC? Basically ECC is a term which is defined by SAP to define their version of their application. So SAP call their different version of the application. So and the description of this video will be YouTube link is in the description below. You will find this video. I believe it's only 2 minutes long, so you can watch this video as well. So what is ERP? So ERP is also a term and you will hear this. So enterprise resource planning software, which is basically a software which covers in different areas of application: accounting, sales, procurement, and within those areas additional different sub modules that ERP covers all areas of the application. So ERP application examples: SAP is one of the ERP software. You can take a look at the Oracle is one of the and also there are many different ERP systems that are out there. SAP is one of the leading software in this industry, and so that's why we call it SAP ERP system. So let's get started into the SAP demo system. So we will be looking at SAP GUI, how to log on to SAP, and review SAP front end and versus back end, and we will be looking at SAP modules, and we will be learning about SAP GUI from the start. So we learn as we are starting as very new to this area. So first thing first, we need to log on to SAP. This is SAP logon pad, and this is called SAP GUI application. So GUI basically is another term that if you are new to SAP, it's called graphical user interface. So what you see on this screen is when you see log on and you see new items, and there are different so I just clicked on log on, that's why it's opened this screen. So either I can double click on this or I can click on log on. So if I click on double click, it will do the same thing. So this is the first screen when you log on to SAP, and when it says welcome to IDES is a test system provided by SAP, and it's showing the user client. Now first of all, client, what is client? So client is a database distinguish between basically is if let me start from the beginning. So if a company have a SAP system where they have test system, development system, and production system, and it's called system landscape. So just to understand this, a company would have test system and production system. So in test system, user will log on and do their testing and put their data. So data from test system have to be separate from production system. So client is basically it define the data to be separate from test system to production system. So the client number would be, test system would be different, then a production system would be different. So that's how the database is differentiate with the client. So user, password, and language. So we can put the user and the password, and after I press enter, it will log on to the SAP. So that is the first screen of SAP. It is called SAP Easy Access menu. So you can see there are many different options available, icons. So let's get started. So the first thing we see this is basically if you press enter on your keyboard or you click on this is same. It's showing the enter on the below when I hover my mouse over. This is called SAP transaction code bar, or transaction code. T code is also called T code and transaction code. So what is transaction code? If you want to start a transaction in SAP, that you want to create an order, if you want to do anything, you enter the short code up here, and there are different buttons available on the system. So for example, you see this is for the save a transaction. So let me hover my mouse. So this is back, this is going log off, this is canceling, and the most important one is create session. So with this button you can create session. What is session? Basically it's like a tabs. You can open multiple tabs within SAP. So this is I'll open one just to show. So as we can see, I have just opened one session is there, and I open another session. So what is the benefit of that? You can have two different transactions going on and two different screens. So that way you can do that. Many companies, or as depend on your company where you will be working, or SAP setup. I think maximum session most of the time are 6, so you can open 6 different SAP tabs and you can work separately on them. It is just like that when you have a different tabs open in your browser and you have multiple different websites open in separate tabs. So that is basically generating shortcut. We will take a look at this later on. So we can see additional things up here, and so most important things are we are looking at those folders. SAP menu would have logistics, accounting, and human resource. In any organization you will find these are the main areas of their business functions. So logistics, we take a look at it. So the material management, sales and distribution. In SAP, how the application is designed is every area is distributed into the module, and so SAP sales and distribution is one of the module, and material management is a separate module. So if I open accounting, we can see financial accounting is another module, and so I'll just close this up, and financial supply chain is another module. So what is the beauty of SAP is that when you work on sales and distribution, it have connections with material management. You will find some of the functionality relating to the financial accounting, because SAP is integrated application where you make a sales and distribution, and you make delivery and billing. It will be impacting financial related area. So the general ledger will be getting updated, so finance people would know that they have some account receivable are coming. So, and material management is also then when you're selling a material, it is used in your sales order. So all of those functions are integrated, and you will be having a lot of functionality crossover in different modules. So as we can see, material management is separate module, sales and distribution is separate module, and logistic execution is separate module, but they all have some integration between them. So those integration points are between applications, are connection point between modules, and so that's how integrated application SAP works, and that is an advantage for any organization to use SAP, and where a lot of functionality are integrated, and so they don't have to get separate software for each department, and each department can communicate to each other. So that is the beauty of it. So in sales and distribution, we can see there are different functions, are different processes and functions are out there. For example, master data, sales, shipping, billing. So these are all our processes between in the sales and distribution, but they will all have some integration with the different modules. So if I select master data, we can see business partner, we can see product condition. So all of these are different master data that is available from sales and distribution. And in sales, we can see inquiry, quotation, order, scheduling agreement, contracts. So if we talk about end user will be, we can segregate end user as per their role and responsibility. For example, if pre-sales, so what is pre-sales? First of all, pre-sales are anything before sales is called pre-sales. So order is sales, and pre-sales would be inquiry and quotation. So pre-sales consultant would be involved in only inquiry and quotation process. They might not have access to do order creation or change, or maybe some organization might have all three roles to the one person. That is possible. So as per that, every process and every organization might have different role and responsibility and functions, but SAP is flexible enough to provide those functions and role and responsibility and security. So for example, if one user have inquiry and quotation, they would be different from sales order person who can put an order. So user, for business user or end user would have some limited area of functionality in SAP where they will work. They might have some visibility to other areas where they can view the transaction but not able to change it. So this is the sales related processes we have seen. So SAP provide all of this pre-packaged ready to go package available for user to use in the system, and consultants work on this system to design the system if some functions are not available and they want to design it. So that is there. So that is in logistics area. We reviewed accounting area as well as financial accounting, financial supply chain management. So to create a session, we can click up here to create session. We can also click up here to add favorites, and so let's take a look at the front and the back end. This is we can consider it as a front end, and to open the back end, I will create a session by clicking this. So this opened the new screen for me. I can make it on one side of this application and make this on the other side. So both are two different tabs in application. So tabs are like just like in your browser, when you open two tabs to review one website on one tab and another, this is just like this. So you can open different screens for the same application, and every organization might have different rules set up in the system, but in most cases SAP allows 6 sessions to be open at one time. So you cannot exceed more than 6 sessions. So let's take a look at the backend. SPRO. Now what is backend? So in backend we customize the configure the system. SAP Reference Implementation Guide, IMG, that is a term is that. So here we can see this is like a different folders we can see, and SAP Sales and Distribution is here, and we can see master data, basic functions, sales, billing. So this is the area where consultants come in and customize the system for the business user as per the requirement and as per the process. So this is basically a structure that is SAP already have provided, but as a consultant they go in and change the functionality in the backend and configure the system as per the user requirement. SAP provide basically a basic framework, but a system need to be set up as per the company's requirement, and also as per the setup the company require for to do. For example, master data or sales related transaction, SAP provide basic order types, but we need to customize it, so that is available for upgrades. And so that is and then based on those changes that things can be made different. So for example, SAP provides basic structure, you don't supposed to change that, you copy it and change it to the as per the requirement. We will learn this about this later on in the video, in upcoming videos. So that is there, and so that is the back end, that is a front end. And so open a new session, we can click up here, we can also do /O, that will open a new session. So it system pop up a new window and telling us that we have two sessions are open. So we want to generate a session. I can click up here, generate, and it system just opens third session for me because I just did /O. If I want to put that, so this is a T code bar where I put that transaction code, and so here I can show you one transaction code just to give you example that inquiry is VA11. Either I can double click up here, I'll just do this right now. To create inquiry, I'll just go back, and if I want to do it like this, I can do /O. So I'm telling system to open a new session and also open a transaction VA11, basically telling system to create inquiry. So system just open a new session and where I have inquiry screen. So that is advantage of using these T codes and short T codes, because if you remember those, then you don't have to drill down into this area of folders and so on and so forth. So by practicing it, you will remember it. So for inquiry, and also I have some tricks in the part 2 of the video, where I will show you some of the tricks of this transaction code to remember. They are easy to remember if you remember the logic. So let me show you one more transaction code. If I do /o SPRO for customization to going in the back end. So let me show you where I'm getting this from. So I'm going to tools, customizing, IMG implementation guide, SPRO. So that is a transaction code to go to back end. So I'll just go back, the green arrow back, and one more time. So I am back to the same screen, and system kept the same place where I selected this from. So I'm just going to close those folders, and I'm going to do /o and do SPRO. So what I'm telling system to open a new session first and then go to this transaction. So this is there, and let's say if I want to jump from here to the inquiry, which is so I'm just going to make an error up here just to show you that what are the required things we need to do. So if I do this, let me make it full screen so we can see VA111. So this is not opening any session for me. I'm just gonna go to the here and just do again VA111. So it's not opening any session for me again. So why is that? Because the system is already in one transaction. We cannot open another transaction with when we are in the one transaction. So we have to tell system end the current session and open a new transaction VA11. So if I do /n, I'm telling system to close this window where I am working and open a new transaction. So if I do VA11, it will open now. So as we can see, I am in the create inquiry. So if I just try to show one more time, going into backend, SPRO, and as we can see on the bottom, fill in all required fields. So because system is telling me that you cannot put T code because we are already in this screen, and any errors and messages you will see on the bottom left hand side of the screen, as we can see, is a full stop. It's a stop sign telling system this is an error, hard stop, and it's giving some explanation on this, what's going on. So we know that it's telling us that we need to put all required fields for the inquiry creation. So let's ignore this now, and I just want to show this. The messages come on the left hand side of the bottom of the screen. So if I do /n and SPRO, now I will not get any error message. It directly go into the transaction. So I'm just going to close this session. So this is we can see this is front end and this is the back end. Back end is for the consultants to go in and configure system, and this is the front end where end user will be logging into the system and doing this. So but consultants work on the front end and the back end both, because when they design something they want to come into the front end and do testing and see what things they have configured and it is working or not. So for example, what we were looking at V11, so what inquiry document type that we have configured and how it is working, and if inquiry is completely working with our customization, we need to do testing and give it to the testing team and so on and so forth. So that is what is it. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the description below. I will be leaving the video links in the description below and the link of the book in the description below. Thank you very much.